Everybody, ODC here on a pretty random Saturday night. I don't know why it's too random. It's not too random, but random enough where I'm still adjusting my camera. Things I should all be doing before the stream, but I'll wait for people to start trickling in, and then we can go from there. But yeah, this should be fun. I wish on live streams you could zoom out because I know my iPhone is capable of zooming out still, and I can't, and it's kind of annoying. But it's all good. It's not the end of the world. So, um, but yeah, it took a little bit of a hiatus there. I wasn't planning to after I shot that Mega Man review. Life kind of got in the way. We ended up going. I did end up taking a little bit of a hiatus and going to Puerto Rico with the family. So that was pretty fun to do, and just to get away from the normities that is life, you know. So took a week, went to Puerto Rico, and the rest is in the books. Here I am. I'm back, and it was a fun, nice little trip. But today we're gonna open up Duke here, and we're gonna have some fun doing it. Stick around at the end after I'm done doing this live review, as I'll probably be talking action figures and such, as I always do. I usually make these live reviews pretty long. They usually go about an hour or so. But yeah, like I said, I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. Feel free to chat with me. Just for some more people to trickle in and wait for people to see the live stream. And hello to everyone that is popping in right now. Hope you guys are all doing great. Let me get my thumbs out of here. Got thumbs in the background. And now I have decapitated heads over here. Decaffeinated heads. There's some other figures I did want to do reviews on too, which I actually got like a couple months before, or weeks. I shouldn't say months, but weeks before, and I didn't really have. I guess didn't really have the time to do the reviews, unfortunately. But I do have them here. Here's a guess on who they are. Um, there's just a little guess. I mean, just a little one. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else I picked up. I don't know if I really talked about these guys, but I did shoot photos of them. The Python Patrol guys that I got on sale from Target. These are really cool. I mean, really, really cool. I have them kind of set up like a because there's no he's called an officer, this guy back here, but there's no officer insignia on his helmet, and there's no officer insignia on his, I guess, band on his arm. So that's fine with me. I kind of just made these guys a team of two. One's a spotter, one's a sniper, and that's kind of what I designate Python Patrol to. I don't go all in on Python Patrol. I usually use them for, jungle purposes because I feel like they blend in really well with jungle environments. Actually, more than you guys would think. And I actually have them kind of paired up with him, Mr. One of my favorite characters. I shouldn't say people, but characters in G.I. Joe lore, which is Shadow Tracker. I just think it fits the environment well with them, and they all blend in very well together. So it's a nice little squad that I have for him. I did get my Vamp, and I can't remember. Did I shoot the review on that stuff? I have to go back and look. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. My brain has been a befuddled mess lately, with just so much going on. But we're going to open this guy, and I've got a K-bar to do it. We're going to use this nice little guy I just recently got, I want to say about a month or so ago. This is the K-bar Harpoon. It's a really good one. I have the Turok. This is the harpoon, and we're going to use this to, you know, go over the top and open this packaging up. Because I mean, K bars and GI Joes. I mean, those just seem to go well together, right? You know. Oh, but yeah. Bring you guys up to speed as far as anything else goes. I don't know. Just been kind of oh, you know, getting ready, gearing up for the summer. There's going to be a lot more figure releases. A bunch of figures dropped in my pile of loot. I actually got a bunch of figures in the mail. I still have my Turtle Van, Super 7 Turtle Van, Party Wagon, excuse me, not Turtle Van, but Party Wagon. I had the footage shot. I was going to initially open it up live, but I was like, "Nah, I'll just shoot the footage. It's easier. It's condensed. It won't be as long and painstaking for you guys, and it's just easier that way." So that all that footage I shot actually just before I left Puerto Rico. So, but now that I'm back, I can get all that footage and just send it out. I'm trying to think what else. Other Super 7 figures came in the mail as well. I'll kind of keep them elusive at this point. I was almost considering adding them in. Maybe I'll just shoot additional footage and add them into the Party Wagon unboxing or slash review, because it's going to be an unboxing and review of the Party Wagon, because the thing is just too big. I just set up my tripod and I had to do it in my quote workout room area, which I had to make not look like a workout room for the video. But anyway, I digress. Here we go. Let's see here. Let's go to see what there's anybody in the chat. Nobody in the chat yet. Okay. So G.I. Joe Duke, Retro Duke. Now, I was a big fan. Let's bring in Wave 1, Series 1 Duke. And this is the obligatory Duke, as I always call him, because he's in every review for the most part. And then I have to get my Duke, which was Redeco Duke, which is version 2 of the Classifieds Duke. So let me grab him really quick. And I love this version of Duke. I think this is the go-to for me for Duke. I still love that Duke. I think he's one of the best out of the bunch. Let's push him back a little bit. Sorry. Yeah, I really like this this first edition of Duke a lot. Like a lot. Some people don't like it because of the shin guards and the knee pads, and I'm like, guys, that's like not that big of a deal. Like, why are we even talking about that? And I guess if you wanted to, I almost wonder if you could swap out the boots for this one and this one, if it would make him any taller or shorter or whatever. Probably make him taller, I would assume. But if you didn't like the vibrant colors of the first edition of Duke, which was actually this was given to me by S. Myers, which was very kind of him, and that's why he is obligatory Duke and will be in every review. If you didn't like this one, then the Redeco version, which is much more subdued. There's no red on the little beret holder, as I always call it. But the shirt, there's no reds. There's no reds on the gloves. This is much more subdued from the gold and the blue and all that stuff. And they kind of subdued it with some almost olive drab on there. So there's that. And then I gave him a helmet from Gridiron. I painted up his backpack so it didn't look like a big blob of green, as you can see there. Just painted the straps black and some of the canteens black, and just added some dots and stuff like that. And the rifle is also from Gridiron as well. I gave him I believe I gave him a Beretta, M9 Beretta from Gridiron as well. It fits right in the holster. And that just seems like, to me, like Duke's one of my favorite Joes of all time. And that just seems like the loadout that he probably should have came with to begin with was something along these lines. And we can compare and contrast the my version of Duke and the what was given to us, and then with the retro Duke here, which I think is a solid release, but I think it looks a little timely. I'm just going to be honest with you. So let me show you the card art really quick, and I do have to say that right off the bat, the card is much better on this version of Duke than the other versions of the retro ones, like Destro and the earlier ones. They weren't as, I don't know, thick as far as the cardboard goes. I know a lot of people were complaining about bent cards and stuff like that, and I kind of understand it. Like if you're if you're already going after these retro ones, these are kind of a niche thing to get anyway. Because if you already have the first version of Duke, you're probably like, oh, just gonna pass on this one. I don't need it. Um, the good thing about this version of Duke and the newer retro ones is that they're a wider release. They're not just a Walmart exclusive, which I also think that was a big detriment to the retro figures. Is that I know in my area, especially in my area, that I rarely saw any of the other retro figures. Like if we flip this around and well, there's only these three, but I barely saw any of the retro carded Crimson Guards, and I barely saw what was it? I never saw a Storm Shadow in store ever. I'm trying to think of the other retro ones that there were offhand because I don't have too many of them. I think I only have one that I bought from Amazon that was a Crimson Guard, and he was the one that's leading the rest of the Crimson Guards that I have from the regular release. But anyway, here's the figures that you can get. I did already pick up Rakondo, which I'll do a separate review for him. And then I have not picked up Scarlet just because she hasn't been released yet. And then we've got Duke, which he was released. Him and Rakondo were released at the same time on Amazon. And that's where I got this from. And but for some reason she's delayed. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me, but there's the card. There's the file card. It's kind of a very subdued file card. Um, if you want to pause it and read it, go ahead. There's all versions of the card read up. So, and a lot of that has to do with them doing this in multiple different languages, which takes up most of the card. So then they have to shorten it. So, unfortunately. Um, Mr. Conrad Duke Hauser. Anyway, let's get him opened up. Like I said, I'm going to be using my K-bar. Where is my K-bar? I just put it down somewhere. Oh, there it is. And if you guys hear that, that's the puppy in the background. Here I'll be using like I said, my Harpoon. And just give you a little miniature review of the Harpoon as Ken Masters just fell over. It is very, well, you can already see I was cutting wood with it. I was planking with it, but really nice, good. It says BK18 on it in case you guys are wondering what model number it is. But there's the brown version and there's the all black version, so I just went with that. And it's also made in Olean, New York, which is a suburb of Buffalo, where I'm originally born and from before I moved to South Carolina. Anyway, there's a little miniature K-bar review for you. It's a good knife. It cuts. It does its job. Good, nice survival knife. So if you're looking for a good knife that will you can rely on, K-bars have always been really good knives. So I would definitely suggest going with one of them. And this is like cutting butter right now, cutting through butter. I mean, at least I would hope. All right, there we go with that. Okay. And there we go. And I did cut it off camera just to be safe. You know, you don't want to bump into the camera while I'm cutting and doing nonsense. But there's that. There's that. And I need this as well. So, dog hair. Can't do anything about it. I have tons of dogs. And if you do hear the squealing in the background, that's just my puppy. He is a bully breed mix. Bully breed mix. He is 2.5 months old. 3 months old. I think he's 3 months old now. But anyway, here is Retro Duke out of the packaging. Let's take, we'll get this out of the way. I got so many figures in my face right now. It's like overwhelming. But he is a vocal boy. And when he was younger, he was very quiet. And now all of a sudden, he's become much more comfortable in the situation he's in. So he... And if you guys don't know, I'll bring you up to speed really quick while I'm doing this. I'll babble while making crunchy noises. We fostered 7 puppies, which he was part of the litter, that we found in an abandoned... someone had abandoned 7 of these puppies in a... God, that is flimsy. In a barn. It was like an old beat-up barn. And we just happened to find them in the barn. No one was around. No mother, no father dog, no human beings were around. So we fostered these 7 puppies. It's not like I've never stolen anything in my life. Fostered their 7 puppies, found them all homes, and I promise that's the last of the crackling noise. Fostered these 7 puppies, found 6 of them homes, and they are all happy now. And, of course, with fostering comes the hard part of when to say no to a puppy, and I just can't say no to a puppy that needs a home, so one's staying here with us. So his name is Kurt Russell, in case you guys are wondering. Anyway, that is Kurt Russell's story. So we have Duke out here. This is definitely a new head sculpt. I like, from certain angles, I like the head sculpt. Sorry, I'm not bringing the head in. From certain angles, I like the head sculpt, and then other angles, he looks a little... I don't know, like someone pushed in on his face a little bit. But I still think it looks really good. Hopefully I'm picking that up on camera. I'm going to try not to move too quickly, or else the camera will try and focus on something in the background. But looks really good. Here's a full 360 rotation of him. And boots and cats in, boots and cats in. Walk that catwalk in. I'm sorry. I'm having too much fun. I haven't done a review in a while, so... here's a comparison with the old head sculpt and the new head sculpt. And let me adjust my lighting here for you folks at home. You know what? I have to be a little honest here. I think I still like the old one. I think I still like this head sculpt a little bit better. There's something about this first edition head sculpt. It looks so good. I don't know what it is. And I get this one's supposed to be a little bit lighter in the hair. It's retro. But there's just something to be said, And I do like, I'm not really complaining. I just think that this looks a little bit more accurately tactical than... This looks a little bit bare bones, Just a little bit. But I get it's supposed to be his original kind of look. So I'm not really, there's not really a complaint against this. It's just something I prefer subjectively. Anyway, it's got the American flag logo properly facing the right way, which is towards the battle. We've got the bandolier. This is a new sculpt right here, which with the grenade on there. So there's that, and as you can see, it is different from this. No Joe GoPro. Joe GoPro. No Joe Pro on this one. It's just kind of, supposed to look like the original. He does have a holster for his sidearm right there, and then he's got a sheath for his kniff, which looks actually like a K-bar. I'm not gonna lie. So this was pretty nice that I decided to open this with a K-bar, and then we opened the K-bar with a K-bar. So there you go, a little K-bar with a K-bar. I'll stop saying that word now. Fits right into the sheath. It is a very pliable, bendy, gummy thing, but it does actually have two different paint apps on it. So we got brown for the plastic used for the knife itself, and then we've got silver for the blade, which looks pretty nice. You can see it right there. And then we've got gold for the palm. So there you go. And it slides right in there nicely. Nice fitment. Good job. I like it. Next up, we have the obligatory laser rifle, which I don't use these unless it's like a jetpack trooper. And even then, I'm a little bit hesitant on giving them a laser rifle just because I just like to have it a little bit more dumbed down on my end, I guess. I like them using real world rifles. It just makes it more fun for me. I don't know. Maybe it's not as fun for other people having them use real world stuff, but it is for me. And that's fine. Next up, we've got two punching hands, so we can do the Yojo fist in the air, or two fists in the air, or he's punching Cobra Commander, or he's punching Destro, or someone, or maybe he's pounding the table and letting General Hawk know, no, we have to do it this way, you know? Or he's just going to say, he's just putting his fist in the air, he's shaking it, he's like, not in my backyard, you know? Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have his binoculars, which are very reminiscent to the original binoculars from the retro figure. So very well done with these. They are a little bit of a stiffer plastic, but they're still kind of bendy and stuff. So you can kind of reshape them to how you need. So there's that. And don't worry, we're going to load him up in a minute. Next up, we've got a pistol, which this looks like... Let me move my camera up a little bit more. This looks like kind of like a, I don't know, a modded Glock. Because I know Glocks when I see them. I've shot Glocks. This looks like Glock handle to me. This looks like Glock slide to me. I mean, even the trigger guard looks Glockish to me. Which is fine. I mean, I don't mind Glocks. It's not a bad thing. I'm just kind of pointing it out. That's what that looks like. But it looks like it's got like some sort of flash hider. I don't know. But it's definitely a modded Glock of some sort. So there's that. There's that. And I think I have seen this being released with other figures. Which ones I couldn't tell you offhand right now, but definitely. Most definitely. I sound like Rain Man right now. Jesus Christ. Anyway, we've got next up, we've got the G.I. Joe display stand. I love these stands. I wish Hasbro sold these Cobra and Joe stands separately. I actually do enjoy stands. I know they take up extra space, and I know not everyone likes display stands, but I personally don't have a problem with them. If I just trying to display them, I'll put them on a stand. If not, then I display them, or if I'm trying to play with them or pose them or whatever, I won't use the stand. But there it is. Next up, we've got his submachine gun. Pretty cool. Looks just like the original that he came with. The magazine is removable, and it's all in this retro style green color. Looks really good. And then next up, we've got the backpack. Backpack. Sorry, I can't help myself. This looks like it needs definitely some TLC with some paint. So I might paint this up a little bit, I'm just saying it's a bit bland. But I do actually like that we've got, it says G.I. Joe, a real American hero. And then good luck after that. I don't know what that says after that. I'm trying to get this as close as I can so you guys can read it. I know it's blurry. I'll try and move my camera up a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Oh, people are falling. I can't quite. I know what it's. I have read what it says before, but it's hard to get it in there. I'm trying to get the right lighting. If you're wondering why the hell I keep moving it around, it's because I'm trying to find the right lighting. There we go. Maybe if I just. I wish I had a magnifying glass. I would just be able to see it. I'll try and see what it says. I think it's A Real American Hero. Fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble, G.I. Joe is there. Okay, that's what it says. I don't know how I read that, but I did. I kind of put two and two together when I saw there is trouble wherever there's trouble. It says wherever there's trouble, and then I think it says something along the lines of that. But that is some tiny script, man. That is some teeny, tiny script. Pretty cool, though. Anyway, moving on. We've got the last piece of the puzzle, which is the helmet with the visor. The visor is movable. You can pull it down. You can push it up. It's much better than the 3 3/4 inch helmets, which they might have just taken those old helmets and kind of upscaled them. But because it's a bigger, thicker plastic, the visor likes to stay down a little bit easier. If you remember the old 25th anniversary helmets, you would remember how crappy they were. And as soon as you put them on the head, the visor would sometimes pop out of the socket on the sides, or it would just stay up like this and not go down. So on this one, let's try this as the first piece to the helmet, as that stays on the head and the visor goes down nicely. So you have that. And you could also use this on Grunt if you wanted to. If you wanted to make Grunt a little bit more retro, but I'm willing to assume that at some point down the line, if I had to guess, I think whether it's an exclusive or something like that, there's going to be like an OG-13 box set or something like that. I could definitely see that happening. They'll probably charge like, I don't know, $300 for that or something, because 13 figures or some crazy shit. Or maybe they do like 2 boxes. I don't know. Maybe they'll do a bunch of 3-packs. I don't know. Well, one would have to be a 4-pack too. So anyway, I don't know. Whatever. But there you go with the helmet on, and then let's gear him up really quick. We'll put his backpack on next, and I like that they put the little hole through the bandolier, so you could just pop that right in there like that. That is well played, sir. Let's see how the chat's doing. Matt Edwards, how's it going? You're from Olean? Oh, that's nice, man. Yeah, it's not that far away. It's a stone's throw away from Buffalo. I actually have family members that lived in Olean, so. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Terry Turner, what's going on, bud? Thank you for modding, as always, Terry. Appreciate you, bro. But welcome and enjoy. Yeah, this looks pretty good on the backpack. Very reminiscent of the original figure. I don't know where my Retro Duke is. I was looking all over for him before I started shooting this, and I couldn't find him anywhere. So I apologize. But next up, we got the pistol. Goes right into the holster nicely. Nice, good fitment. You don't have to worry about anything falling off. Give him the shake test. You're good to go. And then we've got the submachine gun, which fits right into his hand. I haven't even messed with these joints or anything. I just literally took them out. Hey, Andy, what's going on, bro? What up? What up? I gotta play catch up on your videos, bro. I saw you dropped a whole bunch of videos the other day, and I was like, yeah, I need to do that. All right, we'll get these goggles on, and everything like sits pretty well on him. I mean, these, I guess the binoculars sit a little bit weird on him just due to the sculpt of the bandolier, but um, pretty nice. And then we'll give him the display stand. You know what? I'll give him a Joe hand too. Let me give him a Joe hand. Here we go. All right. Yo, Joe. Yo, Joe. We'll put him on the stand. Why not? There we go. How about that? How's that look? Looking good. Looking good. Looking good, dude. Lots of new sculpting on him, too. And I think this might be how I have him displayed. Because he's supposed to invoke that retro look. I just think it makes a ton of sense just to kind of have him as retro looking as possible. Not to say that you can't put like a tack vest on him or something like that. I have considered doing that with him, but then I wouldn't be able to get the backpack on, and that's kind of a thing. And I don't know. We'll see. We'll see in the future. Who knows? So I could go completely retro and just keep him the way he is, and then go full modern and give him a vest and everything else. So, although I think the peg might just fit. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But here we go. There's a comparison with the updated retro Duke and old Duke that looks more new. If that makes sense. So retro new Duke and old new Duke, old modern Duke, and retro new Duke. But that looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it quite a bit. And yeah, I mean, if that's what you are all about, if you're more of the retro fanatic, go for it. I think these new retro figures are really well done. Not to say that there's anything wrong with the previous ones, but the cards on these are much better. If you're trying to just display them with the cards, I totally get that, because the cards are nice with that old retro look, and then the retro looking figures themselves, and you can kind of put them with your retro cards from the 3 3/4 inch line from the 80s. You could put them next to those and kind of have a little evolution right there if you wanted to, and an action figure evolution is what you call it? Blah blah. My brain's not working. Oh my god. Glenn Webb would say, "My God, I couldn't think of anybody's name." Uh, you could do that if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can collect this retro line. If you just like this version, you can go with that. World's your oyster. I don't need to explain that to you. I think we all know that. But anyway, I like this Duke. He looks really good. And just to kind of see how he stands up next to other people, he is around the same height. I think he's shorter than Metalhead. He's shorter than Metalhead. He's definitely shorter than Big Boa. He's around the same size as Quick Kick. And I just got these figures. No, he's shorter than Quick Kick. And he's got the helmet on, too. So somebody is going ham on a dog toy down there. All I hear is squeaky, 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 squeaky. Here is Duke next to Condor here. And I think this is a nice fitment. Condor is my favorite. Well, I want to say it's kind of 1A, 1B with him and Eclipse. Those are my two favorite characters from Valaverse Action Force. I love Action Force just as much as I love Joe. So they're both great. They both give us great products. So how can you hate on one or the other? I just don't get that. Enjoy both. That's what I always say. They both offer something fun and different. So this I like. I like this a lot. And I'm not usually huge on nostalgia stuff, but well, I say that, but then look at half my collection. I guess maybe I sound like an idiot now. But regardless, I'm not like hugely sold on like specific nostalgia bits, I should say. Like when you know it's going right for the gusto, I'm like, I'll pass on that. But this I think this is nice. This is a nice little throwback here. I think it looks good. Yeah, I like that. Me too, Brian. Val has got always a really good sales. He's always got some pretty decent prices when it comes to prices on his website. Dropping the price down to $30, I thought made a lot of sense for him to. You'll sell more by charging less. It's all about volume. You got to sell the volume. So, and like I said, I just don't pick sides like some people do. You see so many people on the Joe pages and stuff like that. They all like freak out on each other and start tribalism and picking sides. Sorry. Um, I don't see the point in that. I feel like you're putting yourself in a losing situation there. You can like GI Joe and not have to hate other things because you like GI Joe. I never understood that logic or lack of logic. Some people are like that though. They just got to have their thing and defend it constantly. They feel like they have to defend it. I don't know. It's weird. It's like a lack of, I don't know, like an identity crisis or something. I don't know. but but here's everything he comes with. There's his laser rifle and his helmet and his extra little hand, little grippy hand. There you go, little grippy. And I think he's a good one. I like him. I like him a lot. I like him a lot, and we're going to show how much I like him a lot. And we're gonna do thumbs on the pinkies. 2 thumbs up. Go get him. I think it's a good bang for your buck. You're getting a really nice card if you don't want to take them off the card. Let me talk with my thumbs. Really nice card artwork. You're getting really nice new sculpting. I got to say this as far as the sculpting goes. New upper torso. I want to say this entire figure is probably brand new. The legs don't look reused. The torso itself doesn't look reused, whether it's the lower torso or the upper torso. And you can compare that because this has a diaphragm joint now, and the original had a ab crunch. So the no reuse from this at all. The head is new. It is different. The sculpting's different. The painting is different. Everything is different on this guy than this guy. So you're getting an all new figure. It's not a rehash, a retool, a re-bullshit, whatever. You're getting all new with him. With the submachine gun, I don't believe that was released before. This was released before, so there's that. Helmet is new. No one has this helmet yet. And then the fist hands, which are really nice to have, which are, have been given to us before. Clearly, you can see Quick Kick has them, but I don't know. The binoculars, the new bandolier. I don't mind the reused backpack. That doesn't bother me one bit. But yeah. Brian King says, that's all I collect, Action Force classifieds and Star Wars, so I can afford gridiron upgrades. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, I mean, I have limited myself to what I've been buying. I've even scaled back a little bit on other certain things that I'm still into because there are a lot of things really cool that are dropping this year. Like Monster Force, Operation Monster Force is another one that I'm going to be adding in my collection. I'm actually might be clearing out some space from some Mythic Legions to make out some space for Monster Force because that I really want to focus in on that, and then I want to kind of display stuff. Then it's killing me because I don't know what I want to move to make room for other things, and the only thing I can see that takes up so much space is my Mythic Legion stuff. I've got trolls, I've got horses, I've got a moose, I've got all this big stuff, and it's all coming from Mythic Legion. So I might have to scale back on the Mythic Legion stuff. And I don't want to do that, but they take up the most space. That and probably my Star Wars stuff takes up the most space. because I do have like a snow speeder and a land speeder and all this other crazy stuff. So, Andy says, Street Date Gods got me again today. Had the Mattel Muhammad Ali in hand, but couldn't. Oh, excuse me. But couldn't buy him because I'm not supposed to until the 28th. Oh, that sucks. I hate that. The Street Date stuff. I only understand Street Dated stuff, and I completely agree with you, Andy. To me, Street Dated stuff only should exist with specific things like movies. If you got movie figures coming out and you want to street date them because you don't want spoilers for the movie or whatever that's in the figure, fine, street date it. I don't have a problem with that. But when it comes to like regular figures that have nothing behind them other than it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's just stupid logic. I still don't know why it's a thing. When you get the figures, put them on the shelf and sell them. Other than that, if it's got no spoilers in it, it's got nothing that's really affecting any of the brand itself. The brand is trying to sell to you. Then who gives a shit? Put it on the shelf. That's the way I've always seen street dates. Street dates are a waste. They're an old timey way of doing things anyway. That should be just thrown to the wolves and ingested. And then crapped out immediately. Anyway, Brian King says, "Yeah, I cherry pick Marvel Legends and McFarlane. Yeah, me too. I just don't. I don't have the room for McFarlane. I was trying to get into them. I've just been cherry picking specific things that I like that I did not have specifically that was given to me, or I missed out on it with DC UCs because as of now, I have 100% of that collection. Well, no, I lied. I'm still missing the what is it? I'm missing the upper torso of Giganta, or is it the lower torso of Giganta? I can't remember. I think it's the lower torso. I'm missing the lower torso of Giganta. That's it. I have every other piece. So, but whatever I don't have from DCUC, I try to get from McFarlane just to kind of fill in that void of, yes, I finally have a figure of this character in this form. If they put them out, you should sell them. Yes, I agree. If it's on the retailer, if they made the mistake and put them on the shelf, because it should be, up for grabs at that point. It's not anyone else's fault that the street date didn't meet the requirement for the shelf date. If you put them on the shelf, then you should be required to sell them. It's the same law that goes for when you mislabel any item with a different price. They're liable to have to sell it to you for that price, and that's happened multiple times in Target where I'm like, hey, there was no this action figure doesn't ring up. They sold it to me for 50 cents. It was a $35 figure I got for 50 cents. It's like things like that where they still want to make the sale and they don't know what else to do. Just sell it to them anyway. Who gives a shit? And I've gone through that too. I've gone through that where it's kind of they've allowed it before in the past, and then you get that one person that's like, no, we can't sell this to you. And I'm just like, just sell me the damn toy. I don't even care if you sell it to me for regular retail. Or $2 over the retail. Just sell me the damn figure for Christ's sake. It's just annoying. We're talking about toys here, and they're like, no, you can't have this yet. You have to wait 48 hours, and then you come back in 48 hours, and the toy's gone. That shit's annoying. It's like, no, man, I had dibs, and now my dibs is gone. Thank you. I'll just buy it online. That's why I always just buy everything online. I rarely even check. Like the other day I checked the toy aisle. That the toy aisles in Target and Walmart have not changed in my area. I live in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and in the Charlotte area because Rock Hill's like 30 minutes away from Charlotte, so it's a quick hop and a skip to Charlotte. Anyway, I digress. So I'm checking that whole area and nothing ever changes. Like it's the same shit that's been there for 8, 9 months. Just clogging the shelf, doing nothing. Nothing ever goes to liquidation, apparently. It's like just send this shit to Ollie's. At this point, it's like almost 9 months, might be older than that, might be a full year old that I see some of these figures, especially at Walmart. Like Walmart just got rid of the last retro Destro and the last retro Lady J. And I'm like, why does it take this long? It should be like 6 months, get it out of here. You know? I just, it baffles me that people think, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so Duke, like I said, really cool. And yeah, I would definitely, like I said, recommend him. Go pick him up. He's a nice one. Better file card. Nice. Oh, I guess I should do articulation and all that nonsense, shouldn't I? I mean, at this point, don't we all know this? Don't we all know the articulation? I guess I'll do it. Okay, all right. Just shut up, Anthony, and do it. All right, fine. All right, so head, and I'll let you know if anything did change on this guy. I believe, yeah, he's got the hinge. He's got the ball joint. So on this and this, you're getting way more range of motion in the old head than the new head. So, and I notice he has a scar on his cheek where he has no scar. But his scar over here is above the eye, where he has no scar above the eye. So there's that to point out as well. The head moves up about that far. Head moves up on him way further. So you're getting way better range of motion with a hinge joint. Down and down. Still, like I said, way better range of motion in the head with a hinge joint. He can pivot his head side to side. Let's see. He can pivot his head to the side. Not as much as him because it's on that hinge joint, but I think it's good enough. I mean, it's not that much of an improvement, really. There's like almost no There's no improvement in looking up and down, and there's looking to the side as well. So I would say it's damn near about equal. A little bit more on him, and then moving all around. Moving all around. Hey, there's less range of motion in this one than this one. That's weird. You would think there'd be better range of motion in the newer figure, but in the head, it sucks. Arms go up about that far, and arms go up about that far. So, T'Challa. T'Challa. Full 360 in the arm. The butterfly joint is very limited on the older one. Much more predominant in the new one. Better range of motion. And like I said, full 360 in the arm as well. He does have a bicep swivel, a double jointed elbow, and a wrist swivel and a wrist hinge, which is a lateral, and then he's got a vertical on this side. Same thing on this one, swivel at there, and I'll let you know if I feel any differences. Double joints feel the same, swivels feel the same. Hinge on this side going vertical, and then lateral on the other side. We all know that old story of the older figures all being lefties. So we now have a right-handed Duke. But we do have a diaphragm joint, which I do prefer diaphragm joints over ab crunches and swivels. So I like that better. I think the cuts look a little bit more natural. I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, I don't really, it doesn't kill me, but as far as the sculpt goes, I think it looks a little bit better here. A little bit less range of motion, obviously, but I mean, how many times are you going to have him pose like this anyway? So goes forward. Come on, go forward. Forward, men. Definitely crunches in better on this one, but like I said, yet again, pivot side to side, swivel up top, swivel at the waist. No swivel up top because of the ab crunch, just swivel at the waist. And he can pivot also. He does have drop down thighs. They're about equal. I'm not going to say that one's better than the other. They both do this. They both Rob Van Dam it. Um, it almost sounds like I'm saying, "Oh, Rob Van Dam it." Sorry. Anyway, so at the thigh, double jointed knee. We do have a boot swivel, pointy toey, pointy heely, ankle pivot, and a partridge and a pear tree in the peg holes. And I mean, that's about equal. The same thing is on him. There's just, it's pinless. He's got pins. So if you hate pins, go for this guy. If you don't mind pins and you already have this guy and you're like, oh, I'm on the fence if I should get this guy, then maybe pass on him. If you don't really care about retro stuff, you'll save yourself some money. If not, in your your wallet's burned a hole in your pocket, go for it. Go get this retro. Get that retro Duke. He's looking at you longingly, saying, "Get me." He's reaching out for you, saying, "Get me, please." Head tilt. Get me. Anyway, I'm having too much fun. I gotta say, as far as aspects that I do like on the old one than the new one, I do like the boots better. I I do like the sculpt of the boots better. They look a little bit more natural. This is fine. It doesn't really bother me too much. I just don't like that it's a little bit hindered going up as opposed to him going further up. So there's a bit of a difference there in the foot. But he still stands. I mean, it's not like it really makes a huge difference there. They both stand and they both can do what they need to do. I could see a lot of people customizing this figure and trying to make it into the ultimate version of Duke. Maybe we'll get a third version of him, and I wouldn't mind that. I am a Duke fan, so I'll take all the Dukes. Give me all the Dukes. Give him the Duke. Don't give him the Duke. Oh, sorry, I had to do that. Hopefully, you guys get the joke. It was a wet rag of a joke. Anyway, we're gonna move on. So that's articulation and range of motion. We've already done everything else. I've even given you my verdict before I did all of that. I don't know why. Because I can't do a review properly. Andy says, yeah, Walmart in Colorado are the worst about getting things off the pegs. Yeah, they're bad. I actually went to go visit my friend that used to live in Denver, and there was just nothing but the drizzle and shits on the pegs out there. Michael Gonzalez, what's up? That's the third version. Yeah, no, I know technically, but yeah, it's really the second version. Let's be honest. The second version was just a redeco. He's right here. I was showing him earlier. So first version, technically, let's get real technical with it. Second version, third version. Let's get real technical with it. Because we have to do that. But I'm going to say it's the second version, really, because nothing was changed really ultimately in sculpt, in range of motion, in anything. Not even accessories were really changed between this one and this one. Just paint deco. That's it. So to me, I don't know. If you want to get real technical, this is the third version. To me, it's the second version because this is a full on change. So, but I get it. Some people are real anal retentant about, well, technically, that's the 18th version and a half. Which one of these are your favorite? Well, I mean, I gave him some gridiron stuff. I would say accessory. Oh God, I don't know. Well, the way they came, I would say the retro one is the best one because I didn't like the futuristic looking Nerf weapons. I didn't like it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't like those weapons at all. I didn't think I get what they were trying to do. I get they were trying to be a part of um, they were trying to give off the same thing. Well, no, they were direct designs from the video game. And I get that. And now that things have changed and they've gone a little bit of a different direction and gone, you know, a little bit more dumbed down, I like it better. That's why, I'll do things like giving him gridiron stuff and more futuristic looking weapons because, and I've said this and I'll say it, keep saying it, G.I. Joe should not be using futuristic weapons unless they're, fighting wars in the future. To me, Cobra should have the futuristic looking weapons and the crazy stuff, and the Joes should have the more dumbed down stuff because they have to fight uphill. That's why you root for the Joes, because it doesn't matter how much tech you have if you're Cobra. It matters who's wielding the knife, not who has the coolest looking knife. Who's wielding it? This is the elite of the elite in Joe's. Cobra, some are elite and some aren't. Some characters, some are guys that are just like, you don't belong here. In Cobra, they're not efficient, but they have crazy tech that helps them be more efficient. Sometimes guns will shoot. All you gotta do is point and it'll shoot better. So they have the tech to make up for the lack of experience and the lack of being an elite, This is why I said 3 versions. I like the V2. Well, I'll say this. Objectively, version 2 is the best one out of these 2. There's nothing wrong with this figure. It's personal preference as far as if the orange and the reds bother you. And the gold or bronze or whatever the hell that is. This I prefer. I prefer version 2. Absolutely. Now, if I'm comparing all 3, it's kind of difficult because he's obviously going to be the third one on the totem pole, and it's between these 2. Now, you have to tell yourself, and this is what I'm asking myself, do I prefer an ab crunch over a diaphragm joint? No, I prefer the diaphragm joint. But I prefer his head over his head. So there's that. That kind of 86s each other. Now, who has the better range of motion? He has the better range of motion in certain areas, and he has the better range of motion in other areas. Better head range of motion. Better, I want to say, range of motion of the butterflies. I want to say even as far as the legs, it's pretty even. But he has better range of motion in the ankles than he does. Version 2, or 1. He's got better range of motion, better range of motion in the ab crunch because he has an ab crunch. He has a diaphragm joint. He's got better range of motion in the head because he's got a hinge joint. He doesn't. He's got a ball peg joint, which I fucking hate, and I wish they would get rid of. Sorry, I'm dropping F-bombs now. Anyway, I would prefer, overall, I like this better. I wish this had the updates of that with a head hinge joint. See, I think the head hinge joint with the bottom ball joint neck is the perfect combo. But I like this version 1 head better. Version 1 and 2 head better. I think the sculpt is a little bit better. Nothing wrong with this. I would just label this as number 2, and I would probably squeak out the edge to him with the loadout I have with him now. So, I mean, I gave him an M9 from Gridiron. I gave him this. I can't think of the name. I know the name. It's just escaping me right now. But anyway, I'm not going to harp on it. I gave him this rifle and the helmet from Gridiron. I kept the backpack because I like the backpack. But it's just simple little updates like that, help the figure exponentially. this is not a bad figure. I just think it's a little, way too much on the retro side. So, so there you go. Um, but yeah, there's that. My collection, your collection is so beyond mine. I gotta get back to reality. Thanks for acknowledging my questions, concerns, comments. Keep up the awesome hobby. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, yeah, no problem. I mean, we're all just fans of the same thing. We're all just in the sitting in the same lifeboat. Doesn't matter how much more I have or how much less you have. We're all here together. You know. It's not a. I've never been that type of person to be in a pissing contest with somebody else's collection because there's always a bigger fish. So it doesn't matter how much you have or you don't have. Because I'll tell you this: growing up, I didn't have shit. There was a big flood that took away all my stuff when I was a kid, and I never got any of it back, and it sucked. So anyway, yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed. Thanks for commenting, Michael. I appreciate it, man. I love having a nice, beautiful discourse in the comments. I love it. So thank you. Um, Wait, we got Tiger 4. Oh, you're right. So this is technically the fourth version. Technically, he is the fourth version. I forgot about Tiger Force altogether. Probably because I don't collect really Tiger Force. I think the only Tiger Force I have is Bazooka and oh no, I lied. Rakondo, Bazooka, and Mr. Selkirk Outback. That's it. And I think that's all I had growing up because I still have my retro. Oh no, I had Dusty growing up too. Um, I don't have the I don't have the what you call it, Dusty. But here's Bazooka. Oh god, I'm knocking shit over. There's Zook. I actually like this Zook. He's a pretty good one. Why am I calling him Zook? It sounds like a douche thing to say. Hey man, what's up, Zook? Or it sounds like I'm trying to say like Zook, like Tony Zuko from friggin' Grease. But I love this Outback. This is a great Outback. I like the regular version too, just as much. But there's just something about this one. I don't know. Just really loved it. I ended up having to because the peg actually broke off on this backpack. I ended up having to glue the backpack to the harness. So it's pretty much just like the retro figure now. The backpack is glued to the harness. That is not coming off. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff there, don't you know? I like Tiger Force Rakondo better than the retro one, in my opinion. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Don't worry, that video's coming soon. That video's coming soon. I've been kind of playing around with them just to kind of see. There's really no besides the deco, there is zero difference between the two. Um, but yeah, there's something different. There's something better about that Tiger Force Rakondo. It just fits him better. I think that deco fits him better for as far as especially being a jungle commando. And yeah, he just looks better in the Tiger Force stuff, I think. There's nothing wrong with his original look. I think it just makes more sense, especially the classifieds version. Maybe retro version. I prefer retro Rakondo over and I'm talking retro like 3 3/4 inch figures. Maybe I prefer 3 3/4 inch retro Rakondo over but I guess it doesn't matter. It's the same shit. It's the same thing, just redecoed. But yeah, I agree. As far as the classifieds, I like the Tiger Force Rakondo, and that's usually what I try to use Tiger Force for is the jungle environments. And I still think some people seem to think like when Shadow Tracker came out, they were like, "Oh man, his color scheme sucks. Like, why'd they make him so bright? And he's wearing like a neon helmet." And I'm like, "You put that shit." And if you go watch even Strident's review of the Pursuit of Cobra, Pursuit of Cobra, Shadow Tracker, like you cannot see him. You put him in grass and you walk 10 to 15 feet away, you can't see him in the grass at all. Like he blends right in. So that old argument of that bright colors don't work in greenery, like these guys blend right in. I'm telling you, they're perfect. Perfect for the jungle looking environment if you're trying to take photos like that. I actually even posted photos to, I think it was Facebook, Instagram, and um, on here on my community page. So, and you could see how well they just work like that. But um, yeah, there's what was it? There's a couple releases like the Ferret, which I missed out on the original pre-order. I'm sure the pre-order will come back up. So I'm hoping to get a regular. I just want one ferret. I never had one as a kid. Growing up, I was never too impressed with it. To be honest with you, it originally didn't come with a figure either. So it's nice to see that the classifieds version will. It's almost like we're kind of reliving through the classifieds, like again the Joe line. With differences here and there. Like even Metalhead, let me just get him out of the way here. Like Metalhead, he came with like what was it? The mast helmet, and then he came with another hair accessory with no visor on, and like that, and like the certain things like this little face plate right here, and then even the way the missiles system is set up on him, like it's different. Like it looks like almost like an exoskeleton attached to him. So I don't know. I like the little subtle differences. Like some have more differences than others. Like Big Boa has much less differences in his original look, and so does Quick Kick, as opposed to like Metalhead, who has a lot more updated stuff or different stuff on him from the original figure. So that's pretty cool, and it's also cool that we're getting more Iron Grenadier stuff. I cannot wait to get. I really hope, because I know what they're going to do. They're going to do the original Iron Grenadiers soldiers, but I'm hoping and praying, even though I'm not a religious person at all. I'm just using that word for name for the sake of it. I'm hoping very much so that we get the Pursuit of Cobra Iron Grenadiers. I think that in 6-inch scale, people will go nuts for them. Absolutely ballistic for them. Those are some of my favorite figures to date still. A lot of those figures from Pursuit of Cobra are still some of my favorite figures. I would put in my top 30, top 20. Some in I would say Shadow Tracker from Pursuit of Cobra is in my top 5 all time. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool figures that came from Pursuit of Cobra, man. My God. There's so many good ones. Just got Big Boa, just got him and Quick Kick before I left. So like maybe like 2.5 weeks ago, before I left for Puerto Rico, and I'm pretty impressed with them. Big Boa, I feel like he should have came with his punching bag. I know he came with the weights, but he comes with less than I want to say anybody else does, really. Quick Kick comes with way more than Big Boa does. And Big Boa is also using a lot of old parts from Sergeant Slaughter, um, which that's not really a knock against the figure. I'm just kind of pointing it out, I guess. But he is reusing some parts. Um, so I would have hoped that he would have came with a boxing. You know what they should do is, and here's just a quick thought. I know I'm like a friggin' 30-second genius here. It would have been cool if we get in the future, less like like accessory packs. And I know Hasbro doesn't like doing this shit. I know companies like Valaverse like doing stuff like that, which is really cool. But it would be cool if like we got stuff like that that we didn't get prior. You know, even the Black Series does that. You know, the Black Series loves doing like creature packs and droid packs and stuff like that. Do if the classifieds could do that, because I mean they only have budget for 6-inch figures. And if all their budget is going into this 6-inch line, I'm sure they could squeak out a little bit of like an accessory pack for the classifieds line. And I think, maybe putting that, Joe yes, no. Oh, I don't see my ticker moving. Yep, there we go. Sorry, it was like a phone call right in between. And I think my girlfriend's trying to call me to get me to come pick her up from watching Tom Segura. So I might have to drop this really quick. I was actually going to stay on here a little bit longer, but I guess I have to go. So that's okay. That's all right. I'll probably be I'll probably be back maybe, I don't know. We'll see how tomorrow goes, but maybe Monday with another live stream because I did want to kind of hang out with you guys a little bit longer. Yeah, maybe I'll do these 3 reviews. Maybe 3 is a bit much. Maybe we'll just do Big Boa and then we'll do him and then we'll do him separate and then I'll upload my what you call it? I'll upload my Metalhead review or my God, I can't think of anything. I'll do these 2 on I'm trying to think here. I'll do these 2 tomorrow live stream. We'll do a live review with these 2. Monday I might upload my stuff for my party wagon and stuff like that. We'll see. I think it's going to be Monday or Tuesday, actually. I'm trying to figure this out because I don't want to say it's Monday and then you come Monday you guys have nothing in your nothing from me and you're like what the hell, dude. So tomorrow I'll do these 2. I do want to do those 2. Maybe we'll do Metalhead sometime this week. I'll just post on the community page, so just keep an eye on the community page, and then whenever the heck I get the time to finish editing the party wagon, I'll do that. And then I've got the other Super 7 stuff I want to get up there. No one watched that friggin' Mega Man review, and I mean like maybe like 100 people watched this guy's review. People really did not give a shit about that. So that's going to be about the last Jada Toys review I do. I'm just not going to put extra effort into stuff that people just don't watch. So, and then probably this guy in the sky. And then, yeah. Yeah, I agree, Andy. If they do Pursuit of Cobra Iron Grenadiers, ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, they're gonna get awesome. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun if they did that. And Terry. So stay tuned tomorrow. Like I said, tune in tomorrow. You guys want to hang out, talk, shoot the shit? I'll do both their reviews. The 2 bare-chested men. And then party wagon stuff. And then, we'll do Metalhead first and then party wagon stuff. So, yeah, there we go. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a kind of just a live review. And version 4, version 1, version 2, I don't have Tiger Force Duke, so version 3 and version 4. So there you go. Yeah, that's gonna be about it. And if you're watching this on playback, you are a patient person. But yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you to everybody who kind of tuned in and hung out. Thank you to Matt Edwards. Appreciate you, bro. And awesome that you're from Olean, man. That's pretty cool. It's always fun seeing somebody on stream that's from my neck of the woods. Excuse me. Terry, thank you for modding and thanks for hanging out as always, brother. I appreciate you. Andy, Brian King, thank you, bro, as always. And Michael Gonzalez, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you all. Even if you're just lurking, appreciate you very much. And I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy your Saturday. Be safe. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. And I'll also see you guys on the flip side.